What's up, guys? Back with the 5D Warrior Podcast, episode 14. Today, we're getting into emotional intelligence, manifestation techniques, and fine-tuning imbalances. And we're going to just dive into all that. Also, get into whatever else comes up.
Indeed. And
Just ride the wave. We'll just ride the wave.
And before we get into all of that, we have just dropped a website now. If you guys want to check us out, I'll do a little screen share and I'll show you what we got going on real quick.
Yeah, check out the website.
Yeah, check out the website.
And we also
it looks like this. We're just getting started. Just dropped it yesterday. Got linked to YouTube. We're gonna start posting blog posts, TikToks, and just hop into the minds of us. I'm gonna start posting all my creative stuff on there too, all the spiritual creative stuff. Tap into that for infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge. So first thing we're gonna talk about is emotional intelligence, which is
EQ.
With EQ, man. You got regular intelligence, you take a SAT or an IQ test, but what about emotional intelligence? People are very unconscious of their emotions. And how do you become conscious of them? People like to project a lot. People don't understand how their emotions are perceived or projected from them, right?
Yep.
What can we do to fix that? I think that meditation and contemplation are the two biggest practices to do that, right? So we're in a fast-paced society. I'm scrolling through TikTok. I'm guilty of it too. Scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all this crap on social media and stuff, and you don't have a second to think about like what you're doing to your body, how you're affecting other people. That's why people go online and they're assholes online or in the comments, and
that's why I'm arguing with people on TikTok about flat earth, bro.
Yeah, literally. And it's like it doesn't matter that much, but it's just like it
doesn't matter, but it's also just a ginormous waste of time.
Yes.
It's like, and that's what people like, but that's the thing people got to realize about the emotional intelligence. It's intelligence. You'll gain that emotional intelligence once you realize that you are not your emotions, right? So like, the only way to realize you're not your emotions is to sit down and meditate and be like self-aware and just sit with like whatever you're feeling, right? Say you're like riled up, something pissed you off, right? You go sit down in meditation for 20 minutes, right? And you just like, because you feel the energy, it penetrates throughout your whole body, right? Like that anger, right? You'll feel hot, whatever. Just let it sit and just like observe it, right? So just like take a step back and observe it and just like realize that that's not you. That's just like how you're feeling at the moment, right? And that's like, once you understand how to like let your emotions just pass by or just like sit from a different perspective. Yeah, exactly. So like, say you're sad, right? You're not sad. Your mind or your physical being, whatever because you're attached to your body, your avatar, right? You think you're sad, but like your spirit's not sad because like your spirit doesn't have emotions, right?
You're simply experiencing sadness.
Exactly.
When you attach the I thought to an emotion, you become that emotion. When you attach the I thought to any sort of label, you become that label. But when you disassociate the I thought and understand that the I is the experiencer of that label or of that emotion, then you can just simply see it for as it is, right? And
that's why the I am is the most powerful statement in the universe, essentially. Because like, if you say I am depressed or I am sad, I am envious, I am this, I am that,
you're affirming it for yourself.
You're affirming it for yourself. And that's why they say like, that's why it's called like spelling, right? Because like your words cast spells. Like when you say shit out loud, like you're projecting a negative vibration, putting that out there into the universe. So like when you do the flip side of that and you say, I am happy, I am loving, I am all this, whatever it is, I am grateful, I am joyful, this and that, you'll resonate with higher positive vibrations. And that's like the whole idea of the emotional intelligence is you can't even like get into a relationship or have like a romantic relationship or have like personal relationships with like people if you don't understand how you react to like certain situations, right? Because if you go and meet someone for the first time, maybe they're a sarcastic person, right? He or she's gonna say something to you that is sarcastic. They think it's a joke. but you might sit there and just like think they like just came for you, right? They just like insulted your being. But it's like, no, it was probably just like a joke, you know what I'm saying? So like you can't take everything as like a direct hit on you, right? You just have to observe it and just let it be. And if it is a dickhead comment or something, it'll come out. But like at first, you got to just like observe that shit.
Now that's a matter of fact. You
Like
can't be reacting, right?
exactly, you got to
You
be
have to
mindfully
experience.
active.
Yes, you have to
People just be reacting
observe. You have
all
to
the time, bro.
observe
Bro,
and take it in.
I just saw, I get in my room, I'm eating breakfast, and I see some kid outside my window, like beefing with like two girls just walking down the street. And I'm like, I could tell he was like pissed, whatever. So I open my window, and the kid's like, two random girls, bro. I don't know what happened, but he's like, why you effing walking away from me, this and that. And he's like, and the girls are really just walking, mind their own business. And he's like, yeah, walk away, you two stupid effing cunts. And I'm like, yo, it's 11 in the morning. Like, why? Like, this kid was just like cursing at two random girls on the street, bro.
Because
Like, that's like someone that is not in touch with their emotional intelligence
Mhm.
at all. He probably doesn't even know emotional intelligence
That's
emotional intelligence
facts.
exists.
Yeah, because
You don't
you can't really be conscious of yourself until you understand how your emotions affect not only you but how they affect other people. Like that's why the one of the best quotes from the Bible, in my opinion, when Jesus says like, "Forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do," or so it was something along those lines. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Like,
Yeah, I just saw the same thing, bro. It
like,
was a clip of Jesus getting crucified on TikTok in like some movie. And
mhm.
it was like he's on the cross, they're staking him in the hand with the stake, and he's like, forgive them, Father, forgive them. Like they don't know what they're doing. Like
Yeah,
they're not even conscious of like the crime or the act that they're doing. Like they don't know any better.
no, that's facts. That's facts. And
Crazy, bro. And a
the
lot of people don't know.
no, a lot of people have no idea. I mean, I know I didn't have any idea
Yeah, facts.
because like the biggest thing that I used to do is I used to attach the I to my emotions instead of sitting with it because like you're meant to experience the emotions. Like if something happens to you, rather than okay, like we brought it up. We brought it up. Like remember we brought up the dog running in the street and the dog gets hit by a car. We would attach the label to it as bad. Like no, it is. But me as a human, attach that label to it. I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to feel that sadness or that negative emotion associated. So say I feel
And that's not wrong to
yeah,
feel that way. That's don't like people might get that twisted.
yeah.
But just because everything is, it's not wrong to have emotions.
No,
Like
because it's human. It's only
human
human.
to have emotions. Like
Yes.
you're allowed to have
Yeah.
emotions, but just realize like they're not the end all be all. Like they're separate from you. Like you're gonna feel some type of way. If your dog got hit by a car, you're gonna feel some type of way about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
like
that's
just
some
like
type of way, if you sit with it, experience it, and feel that emotion for what it is, it's so much even more human than actually letting it take control of you and let your
exactly.
mind miscreate because of that emotion. Because some people go into like remorse over things because they feel like they have a lack of something because they had a material item and then they lose it. Okay, like oh, my car got taken because I didn't start doing my car payments. I'm pissed, right? Not that this happened, but I stopped paying my car payments and I'm pissed. And I feel like I'm lacking something, which is that car. But in reality, I'm not lacking anything. It's me attaching to that car and feeling that sense of
You're
lack.
saying that's my car. But
Exactly.
it's the bank's car now. But
That's
but yeah, like you just can't like attach yourselves to anything. And again, that's not in the sense that like, oh, don't get attached to this person, that person. Like just like realize that it's okay. Whatever happens to
mhm.
you, just like let it be. Just like let it experience it for what it is, but don't like get yourself there's no reason to get like riled up or highly emotional about anything for the most part.
Mhm.
Some things are like someone dies, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, you're gonna be like maybe you'll be extremely emotional at the time, but like after a while, like that pain goes away, right? So it's like just like it's okay, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's also
That's
like
fair.
if your dog gets hit by a car, maybe that was most likely your dog's time to go, right? And he's passing on to maybe this life, like it's
But
always
then
it's
again, it
always
could
for the
be
better.
terrible. Not everything happened. I mean, people say everything happens for a reason. Sometimes things just happen. They don't happen for a reason. Like some
Because
things, yeah. I guess everything's written as it's supposed to.
everything is like I think everything does happen for a reason.
Okay. Okay.
Regardless if you think it's like freak accident or not,
Yeah.
which it probably is,
Yeah.
but it still happened, bro.
But it doesn't reflect
Everything-
on that soul that it happened to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it doesn't happen for a reason, but it doesn't happen because of something that person did or
No,
like,
no, 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 no,
yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah.
It's just like it
Um,
just happened, bro.
yeah. How
I
about,
fell on my face yesterday,
yeah, you didn't,
like I
it's a
didn't do
learning experience. Don't
I
be
didn't do
running down the
anything.
stairs.
Yeah, like I didn't do anything to like cause it. At least I don't think, unless
Um,
God's pissed at me. I don't know.
so another misconception is the misconception between attachment and love, right? That's like one of the biggest ones I think people get misconstrued in their head.
Yeah, because people are
And
like, "Oh, I love this, or I love that," and then you take it away, or you fight, or this, you get angry, and then you're like, you love this person, you're in a couple year relationship, right? And then like you have one big fight, and you break up, and then the next day you're like, I hate this person, and it's like, bro, like you just spent like every waking hour with this girl or with this guy for like 5 years, and over like one thing you're gonna hate this person. Like, is that true love? Like, no.
because,
If you have true love for someone, you never stop loving them.
yeah, in reality, okay, so I was thinking about this, which is the interesting concept, which is you devote yourself to one person. It's quite an arbitrary concept when you think about it. And you say, I'm only going to give love to this one person. So if I was to ask it, have a girlfriend or a wife, I would be only giving love to that person. But the one thing about love that is interesting is love is universal. Love is should be unconditional with everything, right? So like the same way that I would love my girlfriend and my wife, I should be able to love all those people that I would work with or I play football with or I see just walking down the side of the street, right? And that's where Ramdas talks about Mahariji and how he just saw everybody with such love in his eyes, even if they were cursing at him or yelling at him or coming at his well-being, he just was able to see through that veil of who that other person thought they were,
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
could see he could love the soul behind it. Because when we understand
Yeah, that's a
the
good way to
soul,
put it.
when we understand the soul behind this, my avatar, right? Because this isn't me. There's something behind that which is truly me. And when you're able to see that soul behind all of that, it's you can really see the oneness within the universe, right? And one of the things that I like to do, I don't know if you've kind of experienced this, but when you can look at somebody and you can feel the connection between you and that person, I imagine it as if like when you're sparking two like electricity together, and you're seeing the voltage like going together, like you can see that connection within everything if
That's
you
like
really
when
focus on
if
it.
you've ever like hugged someone, right? Like
Uh-huh.
you could feel that person's like energy, and like if you've hugged someone, say you're like in a relationship with, if
Hmm.
you're like truly connected with that person, like you'll get like a tingly feeling, and it's not your heart, like it's literally like your soul, like you'll feel that like connection. It's kind of crazy,
Exactly.
but it's like real. And there's even a statistic, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a hug can like increase your happiness like by like a certain percentage. Like
Mhm.
say you're like upset or something, like just giving someone a hug like automatically like increases the dopamine or something like that, because it's just like you're bringing that energy, that person's like good energy onto yourself.
Mhm.
That's all like that's all energy, right? Because we're all energy.
Yes, exactly. We are
Other
all
topic, but like that's the idea of it.
no, we're all energy. And I did want to bring that up because I had this up before. I was kind of leading us into this with that was I wanted to bring up the energy field around us, right? You brought up hugging, which is a good example of it. So we have an electromagnetic energy field
Let's get
that
into it.
emanates from our heart center.
Yep.
And around every human being, there's an energy field around 5 feet in diameter extending from us. Like so you can
Depending on is 5 feet like the
5 feet
base?
is like the average. It can
It's like
depend because if you're in a lower state of emotion, so say you're depressed, you're in guilt, shame, etc., your energy field is going to shrink down because of that. So when you're in a higher vibrational energy field, like we talk about David Hawkins,
spreads
when you're in
little-
those, it spreads out even more. So if you're vibrating in an enlightened or joyous or love state, your energy field will encompass a magnitude which is much greater than it would if you were.
and people can feel that energy, right? Because you were telling me the story of Ram Dass when he left the retreat or wherever he was.
Yeah, he
and
left
went
he
into
had to go get his visa renewed, and he went into the diner, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's so holy." They could feel it emanating off of him.
yeah, like, and like he was just like doing his thing, bro. Like he was just going to he was just trying to catch some food.
Yeah.
Like they literally didn't want him to pay. Like they were trying to tell him he didn't have to pay. And not because Ram Dass walked in there and was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm so holy, I'm so good, I'm better than you," this and that. Like he probably literally just walked in there, didn't say a word to him. He probably smiled at someone, but his smile compared to like him projecting a smile onto like some average person is like so profound, and that's why they were calling him his holiness and stuff.
Yeah, and understand too that when somebody seems holy, right? They have no more worth than one other person would have. Like everybody's worth the same, right? That's another misconception.
You could be that holiness too.
Yeah, exactly. You are that holiness, but you just haven't realized it yet. Exactly. So this energy field that emanates from everybody, right? I'm reading a book right now. The Carlos Castaneda writes it, and he's got a whole series of them, which I'm about to buy the whole entire series because I like this one so much. It's called The Art of Dreaming, and it's talking about. I think I talked about it on the last podcast briefly, but about this assemblage point, which is a 1 centimeter point in you, which is supposed to be in your heart center, right? And
it'd be different.
Vortex, the energy in your body is not stagnant. It's not a field that's stagnant, right? It's always vortexing. The energy's moving around in a cyclical nature, right?
Pull up like a vortex, bro.
Yeah, so
it's like I understand what you're talking about, but like Corey could so like you're saying like this guy said it's like your assemblage point is like from your heart chakra. But like if your heart chakra is not open, is your assemblage point like in the lower chakras?
No, so look. So the assemblage point moves not corresponding to the chakras. The assemblage point moves in different ways according to different emotional states or states of the mind, right? So when it'll move from left to right or down. So it never will go below the navel, which is the belly button, and it can raise up as much as it needs to. But the thing about the assemblage point is when you tap in through meditation and especially lucid dreaming, you're able to control where that assemblage point goes. And that's how you can learn about or not how you can learn about, but that's what the sorcerers in South America used to do for thousands of years. Their whole entire basis of study was this assemblage point and how to move it consciously, because it's an unconscious action in the human, this assemblage point. So like, exactly, most people don't even know it exists, but it's been actually measured and scientifically proven now that it does exist. You can measure it and see where it goes, and you can see how it corresponds to different emotions in people, right? And it's very, very interesting. I'm still learning.
Like what is like, I understand like consciously being able to move it, but like what does it
do when you consciously move it is what you're
like,
saying?
what does it necessarily like do? Like you could see the emotions here. So
You
like,
can so same way. Okay, so when you're dreaming, some people think of dreams as hallucinations, and I would argue that personally. I would say that dreams or psychedelic drugs are less hallucinations and a tapping into an alternate field of reality that is beyond this physical realm. By moving your assemblage point,
that's definitely the
by moving your assemblage point, you can tap into those higher energies, those higher realities, if you want to call them that. And you can use them. So, in Doctor Strange, when she hits him and he flies out of his body, right?
Yeah.
That's a real thing. Like
Yeah, no, facts. That's like
But
his actual
that's
body.
what she did. What she did, you can actually look it up. It's called a shaman blow, or not a shaman's blow, right? So the shaman, the shaman is the same thing as the sorcerer in South America. The shaman's blow is he would, instead of doing it in the chest, they did it in the chest there, but they would do it in the back. So if a high vibrational shaman puts all of the intent into his hand, it's all about intent. He puts the intent into his or her hand and strikes your back right where the assemblage point is. It throws you into a dream state, an alternate reality. And Carlos Castaneda talks about how Don Juan does that to him, the sorcerer's blow, shaman's blow, and it throws him into an alternate reality where he's perceiving a dream state, but he's awake. Like he hit him and he sat down and he just lost his body. He was in a whole other reality.
That's crazy.
So
it's almost like taking like DMT.
Yeah, it is. You got to read this Art of Dreaming book. It's fucking crazy. I'm gonna keep reading. I've just got so many books. I got the Tibetan Book of the Dead right here. I still got to read. I got A Course in Miracles. I got to read. I'm swamped. And we had midterm.
There's too much knowledge.
Too much knowledge, man.
I wish there wasn't like so much knowledge.
I wish I could just download it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll get Neuralink.
I gotta get Neuralink, bro.
All right. So what I do also want to talk about a little bit away from the assemblage point is, kind of pertaining to the assemblage point, is the chakras, right? So in tuning your body to the chakras, and I know we made a TikTok this week about the Earth's Om and tuning into that Earth's Om. You got the ley lines on the Earth, which are essentially the chakras of the Earth, but the chakras in the body, you can fine tune them. They associate with emotions, right? And you got here, you can see it kind of laid out. And the interesting thing about these is you can tune them same way you could tune a guitar. You can tune your chakras.
Yeah, you could even see it down here.
Where? Oh, here.
As it is.
So, I don't know if this is 100% correct.
Oh, this is just light.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The reds are the heat rays. Above the violet are the chemical rays. Interesting. So, okay. So this is cool. These are the different, it goes into the binaural frequencies, right? When you listen to different binaural frequencies. I'm a big 528 and 432 guy is usually what I listen to. And then that's usually what I stick around. There's so many different ones that can access different emotions, because when we understand that everything is vibration, everything's frequency, we can use those frequencies to fine tune our bodies and rid themselves, cleanse your energies, and tune yourself to higher vibrational frequencies.
Yeah, bro, this is all
so
good knowledge.
So you got the Earth, right? And 7.83 is the Schumann resonance, and that is the heartbeat of the Earth.
And that's like the for the people that don't understand, the Om.
Yeah, so you can pull it up on YouTube. I can't share sound, but if you pull it up on YouTube, you can hear it. It's a very low Om sound. And I didn't know, I thought it emanated from the inside of the Earth, but what I didn't know is that it actually comes from thunderstorms on our planet. So there's up to roughly 2,000 thunderstorms at one time circulating our planet, and from the thunder striking or lightning striking our Earth, it creates that sound through the thunder. The Om is actually created through all the lightning storms bouncing around in our atmosphere, and it can actually extend up to 60 miles outside of our Earth.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that Om, even though it's from the outside of the Earth, it's still the frequency of the Earth, if that makes sense.
I pull up. Yeah, well, you can't share sound, but like,
you can share sound.
There's the video of Billy Carson talking about how like the planets like essentially like talk to each other.
Yeah, no, they do.
Like, their frequency.
They do. Here, so I have another. Let me see. No. Oh, here.
Missed it. The Om.
Oh yeah, that's just the
Sanskrit like
exactly.
I guess, is it a letter? Is that the right thing to call it, or is it just like a symbol?
I think it's a symbol or it's a mantra is what it is.
Yeah, it's a mantra.
So
To get technical on your ass.
to get technical on our ass, and oh no, that's the mudras. Never mind.
Yeah, mudra's mantra.
Not really, but yeah. So, so each of those chakras correspond with different emotions, and you can tune them. This chakra, root chakra, is associated with the material world. So, when you're rooted in attachment, when you're rooted in lower vibrational emotions and states, you're going to be vibrating at the root chakra.
Yeah, and you got to
corresponding with the
cleanse that, John.
Also corresponding with the first density.
And
Second,
sacral we got, and that's the sacral's for like all, like, yeah, it says here like your sexual and creative energies. But that's like where your things are.
Indeed, right. And then you got the solar plexus, which is when you start to vibrate higher emotions, and those bottom three chakras, you need to cleanse those energies before you can start accessing the spiritual chakras, which are the heart and the blood.
It says here, it's connected with your will, and it is the core of your personality, identity, and ego. So like that's why, and that makes sense, because like once you break through that veil of the solar plexus, you're then accessing the heart chakra, which is all about love and oneness. So like, and the only way to experience the heart of love and oneness is to break the veil of the ego and your identity and all that.
Exactly.
Why there's like the reasoning for like they go up the scale in like connection with one another. They're not just like random things. Like you wouldn't go like your crown chakra wouldn't be at the bottom of the totem pole, because like it wouldn't make any sense, right?
Exactly.
But,
And
like,
also you got to recognize too that the chakras aren't just like, okay, this one's lit up, this one's lit up, this one's lit up, and they don't just light up when you start feeling emotions. It's like a prism, same way the color prism works. So like you could say, or not the prism, the color spectrum, right? So you see all these different, the visible spectrum, right? So they gradually move into one another. They're not, yeah, exactly. So you can gradually activate each chakra. You can have a slight blockage in one chakra and work it out, and then start accessing the higher chakras.
Yeah, and as far as like the RGB goes, like that's what we can see with the naked eye. Like that's the only colors we can perceive with the naked eye. But it's like you tap into the third eye chakra, or the third eye chakra, and then you start to perceive these different rays of the light spectrum, like the ultraviolet, the gamma rays, the X-rays, like all that jazz, all that good stuff. And
So
they even have the B here up in the left of if what they can perceive, if that's
yeah. So there's different colors that different animals and insects and can perceive. So our human eye, RGB, right?
Yeah, look, you could see a dog's view too.
Where's the dog?
Dogs don't have full; they have less colored.
Exactly. And then you also have animals. Oh, there's the dog's view. You also have animals that can perceive when you can perceive higher vibrational waveforms, because all colors are as waves. Hold on, I'm gonna close this door.
Yo, and think about it. I'll tell you in a second. The reason bees can see ultraviolet rays is because they're vibrating at a much higher level than we are, right? And they say bees don't fly; they're actually levitating, because if you see a bee, like if you pull up a video of a bee, Corey, they're not flying. They're not like flapping their wings, essentially.
They're just buzzing.
They're buzzing, and that's why they buzz, right? Because it's like their vibration is so high, and they're buzzing. They're like just levitate. They're floating around. They're not flying. They're just like floating around.
Exactly.
That's why they can
those bees
higher levels.
I might be mistaken on this one, but the bees and the butterflies see everything like neon almost is how it looks.
Yeah, because ultraviolet.
Yeah, they see the ultraviolet rays, so they see the pollen, they see it emanating off the flowers.
That's how they can like see it, because like you can't see it.
Ultraviolet.
And then like if you think about it too, like you could even go as far as say, well, why are the bees vibrating so highly, right? And then you could even say, well, bees devote their whole
here it
life.
is. This is
Yeah,
how
exactly.
like bees see flowers, which is interesting.
But what I was saying, like bees, they're like, you could say like, how do they vibrate so high? Like how are they so conscious? Blah blah blah. They devote their whole lives to serve their queen bee, right? Like their whole existence is like service to others or service to the queen. Like they're rooted in oneness and like love. They love the queen. Like that's how they're vibrating so high, you could say. Whether that's true or not, you could make a connection between how they vibrate so high and the idea that they're just loving creatures.
I haven't thought about that. That's a very
I
interesting
just never
concept. And
thought about
that's, you ever see the
like it makes
beekeepers? The beekeepers live very
longer than
long.
everyone else
Yeah,
because the
the
bees are so
longest
highly
living
conscious.
profession, which could be associated with the love, could be associated with the high vibrations that are,
It's that, bro.
I mean, quite a weird concept.
Could get stung to death though.
Could get could get stung to death. I wonder if you get a tolerance to it. What do you think? You think you get stung enough times, you're kind of just like, that's light by this point.
Probably, bro. Depending if you get stung by like one at a time or just like
One at a time. You ever see when
yeah, if you pull up like Steve-O in the new Jackass.
oh
Like,
my god, I was gonna with the what does he have, honey all over his junk or
yeah, I didn't see it. I just saw a
oh
clip of it. I gotta watch that shit.
you
So,
see they've done some crazy shit with the bees in the past where they're hitting
yeah,
they're doing the
like
tether ball,
high tether ball.
the beehive tether ball, and then they also did the one where they locked them in the car and they threw the beehive in the sunroof
I saw that
and
one.
they closed it.
Yeah, no, that
Dude,
shit's funny. So
so funny.
really
Oh my god.
smacking the beehive. Yeah,
That's
so next time you see a bee, don't get scared, bro. Bees are just like they're just loving creatures. They're not out
yeah.
here to sting you, bro.
Nah, they're just like you. Because all that really exists is loving awareness. Now that's in the Course of Miracles I got right here. Good book so far. I haven't finished it, but I plan to. Shout out Aaron Abke. He's the one who preaches that. He preaches that in Law of One primarily.
Aaron Abke is the GOAT.
Aaron Abke. He's got a new
Second coming of Christ.
he's got a new series coming out right now called Hidden Revelations, I believe, coming out with two other guys.
I didn't even
I'm
see.
interested to see it. It's all
I
about.
saw he posted the SQ, like the spiritual intelligence.
Mhm. Now that's an interesting
That's
one
a whole
too.
other thing too. Is
That's a whole other episode.
you have your actual intelligence, your technical skills, that intelligence, and then you have your emotional intelligence. But then when you start to awaken, you have like the spiritual intelligence because it's a whole separate thing. Because then you have your ego, right? But then you develop what is called a spiritual ego, and you have to learn how to balance that as well. It's almost like you have two egos because you're still resonating with like your 3D body, like your personal ego, but then you're also like looking at it from a spiritual ego, and like you're like passing judgment on people based off of like what you think you know, right? It's a real thing.
Who we think we are, right?
Yeah.
That's the big thing with the ego, is who we think we are. And a lot of people try and fight the ego. Like when they finally become aware of the ego, they're, oh, I wish I could just kick them out. I wish I could just kick the ego out. But like at the same time, like
Ego's your friend, bro. You got to look at
the
it.
ego is your friend because the ego is
greatest
a learning
teacher, bro.
device.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly. So I like to look at the body as the learning device, the five senses, the brain as the learner. But what's experiencing the learning, right? Is it the mind or is it that spirit behind it? We're just going through this life just trying to learn. The ego is the one that's doing the learning for you. I couldn't be sitting here and talking for an hour with you about spiritual stuff if my ego wasn't saying, oh, I need all the knowledge in this book and I need all the knowledge in this book. Like it has it's functional, like for the ego.
Yeah, we only make this podcast because like we have to feed our egos.
We have to feed our egos. Exactly. That's literally the only.
I wake up every day like, how can I gas my ego today?
Exactly. But we do it in the name of virtue at the same time, because you have to fake the virtue, fake it till you make it. Like
Yeah, bro. Fake it till you make it. Like, if you don't think if you're like not spiritual, right? Because like all your awakening is like it just like happens to you. Like me and you just like woke up one day and like was like, oh, like we're gonna try to meditate today. Like just like random, bro. Like I don't know. I
I
still
don't even remember how it
I still
happened.
can't tell you like what event transpired in my head to be like,
I know what event
I want to.
transpired.
Well, I know what event transpired too, but like, you know, even besides that event, like, I still like just like woke up and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna meditate today, and then like I kept doing it, and now it's like I'm on a podcast talking about like crazy shit, and it's like you gotta fake it till you make it, bro. Like
Mhm.
even if you're not all knowing yet, like if you act like you're all knowing, it'll eventually come. You'll
Yeah.
attract it.
Yeah, trying not to do it in the name of ego, but at the same time, it's the ego that's not trying to do it in the name of
And
ego.
it's ego that's the only thing that drives you to do it.
Exactly.
Because at least in the beginning, until you're aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
like, oh, I meditate. Like I'm cooler than you.
yeah, like even yesterday, like I hopped in the ocean and my housemate rolled out. I hopped in the ocean as soon as I woke up, and I made a YouTube video, posted it, and my housemate rolls out of bed at 2 hours later than I woke up. And I was like, "You didn't get better this morning." And he was like, and he was like, "Oh, like whatever." I was like, "You didn't wake up." I said, I was in that ocean. I said, "Who's better than me?" I looked to my left, there was nobody there. I looked to my right, I'm the only motherfucker in this ocean. And like that's just my ego, just like
yeah, but you deserve it, bro. You earned
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm just chatting, right? But it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games in the end because we're all gonna figure it out. It's
Yeah.
the cold therapy has been good. Have you been?
Oh, my dad's starting to get into it, bro.
Yeah, the cold showers, or what is he doing?
I don't know. I'm about to go home in a little bit actually. And
Oh, word. Are you on spring break?
no, I'm on spring break next week.
Okay.
But I go to Florida.
Oh, word. Okay.
I'm going home because I need to get bathing suits.
I see.
But yeah, he was doing. I think he started. I don't know about the cold showers, but like he was doing. I don't know. Did I send you the video?
Mm-mm.
One morning I woke up and my mom sent me a video of my dad, basically like sun gazing, but like he didn't know he was like doing sun gazing, but he's just sitting in the backyard with his shirt off. Like it was probably like 30 something degrees outside, like cold, and he's just my dad just sitting in a chair, just like underneath the sun, just like in the cold.
Good for him.
I was like laughing because I was like that's not really it, but like yeah, it's a good start, I guess.
No, that's good. That's good. Any steps towards it, because get your dad doing a little bit of breath work.
Bro, I think he like would do it. Okay.
The breath work is interesting because the breath work gives you a natural high. And I think, I mean, some people chase the high from the breath work. Some people chase the experience from the breath work. I mean, I don't know. I guess I do a little bit of both. But like,
I know, bro.
but like, I mean, aren't we all? But that's all life is just chasing a little high, right? That's
the dragon all my life.
Chasing the dragon all our life, right? And Aaron Abke talks about we base our entire spiritual existence on the most spiritual experience that we've had thus far.
Yep.
Right. So like whatever my most spiritual experience is thus far, I need to get there. And then eventually, oh, maybe I'll have one that's a little bit more spiritual. And then, oh, I need to get there all the time.
I think it's more spiritual.
You think it's more spiritual, but it's all spiritual. Like it's oh wait, back to the breath work though. Like the breath work is cool. There's so many different ways. I mean, personally, I know you do too, the nasal breathing, the like I'll do sets
breath
like
of fire.
The breath of fire, the breathe it all out. You got the Wim Hof method. And the one I've been into is the alternate nostril breathing recently. Have you done that one?
I've done that, yeah. Like
you inhale completely and then no. I mean, you can do it like that with one, but I usually do breathe all the way in one nostril and then breathe all the way out in the other nostril. I actually made a TikTok today. It's in the drafts, and I'm gonna post that sometime this week. On
it works.
No, it
does. Like if
work.
you're congested or something, like I find whenever I'm congested, if I go like hop in the cold shower, immediately like really like brings it up.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I don't really know why. I don't even really have to do any breathing to get it to come up, but like it just does.
but also like we're so like phlegmy from the diets we have too. Like, I mean, I'm by no means is my diet anywhere near what I would like
I
to be.
just had a
That's one thing. That's one thing that I really need to work
no,
on. I
that's
mean, it's
facts
just
though,
tough
'cause
right now being a college student and
stems only from a bad diet.
exactly,
But
exactly.
Dr.
So
Sebi talked about it. Like if you eat like clean, whatever the diet may be, we don't really know much about the diet side of like the spirituality, but like if you
mhm.
find like a diet that's like good for you, like the mucus will like go away essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
think it
not
has to do a lot with like
right now, dude.
natural foods and raw foods too, because I mean, the more I read up on the primal diets and the just like grass to belly diets, like if you're eating raw meat or like just raw vegetables, that's how we were meant to eat. Like,
That's how I'm gonna be, bro. I might
yeah.
eat like I was thinking about going on a primal carnivore diet for like a month and just see like what I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's just hard to find. I don't even know where I could go get all that stuff from. I guess I would have to go to the butcher shop and
Bro, you
get
can
like a
go.
grass-fed
This is
cow.
not the good shit. Obviously, like who the fuck knows what it is. But like even if you go to like shop, right, bro, like they have like raw liver, bone marrow, like they have the stuff there.
Do they?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
have
know
it.
that.
It's obviously probably I don't know what it is compared to like what Liver King is eating or like
Yeah.
Paul Saladino, but like it's got to be a start, you know.
No, that's
But then
facts.
again, they talk about when you go on the carnivore diet, it's like very good for you, but the first like week or two,
You feel sick.
you just feel disgust. You just feel sick. You're just like diarrhea nonstop, nonstop. Because Joe Rogan was talking about it too.
Hmm.
Did it for a whole month, and he said like the first like week or two, he was just nonstop running to the bathroom just all day.
Huh. I'm interested
But
because I
it's
definitely
because
will try that.
it's cleaning out your whole system, bro.
Hmm. Detoxing you, I guess.
Mhm. And your
I.
body doesn't know how to your body's so used to processing cooked stuff.
Hmm.
It's like doesn't know how to like react to it.
Yeah.
And bro, people tell me all the time, like when I bring this up, they're like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, why not? I'm like, that's literally how our ancestors like did shit and they were fine. Like they didn't die. Like they were
The
freaking
only reason they live shorter than us is because of infections, bro. Like
infection
infection and
and the
disease.
environment of
Like,
which they lived. Like you could
mhm.
a caveman could have woken up with a freaking saber-toothed tiger in his face.
Yeah.
Like that, that's not gonna happen to you today, bro. Or like
Mhm.
you eat a freaking plant that you think is like safe to eat, and then you're dead the next day.
Mhm.
Like that's why today, like doing the diet is so good because like you know what is good or what is
Because like some people are like, oh, like diet doesn't matter. I mean, I guess not many people say that, but a lot of people kind of dismiss the diet as like, oh, if I exercise, it's fine. But it's like,
like no, it's
dude,
not.
like whatever you're feeding your body, like think about it. If I'm eating grass-fed beef, raw grass-fed beef and salad and all these other things that are just from the earth,
You couldn't even eat salad,
opposed to
bro.
opposed to eating a Big Mac or all this processed garbage, like my body becomes made of processed garbage if that's what I'm eating.
And
Like,
it's not even like, well, this is what Carnivore MD says, Paul Saladino.
mhm,
He talks about how like a lot of the vegetables and plant-based stuff we think is like good for us isn't really good for us because of all the defense mechanisms in those plants.
mhm,
Because like if you think about it over time, like the plants had to create defense mechanisms so that the animals would stop eating them. So, and it's just like a process of evolution for the plant. Like we think of evolution as for us, but like all things are constantly evolving, right? So like the plant, like if I don't know, a deer is just like eating plants all day, right? And like it's just destroying all the plants. Eventually the plant is going to come up with a defense mechanism to kill the deer when the deer eats it. And then the deer is going to know, okay, my friend just ate this plant, like, and he died. Like, I'm not going to eat this, right? But it's like for us, we eat these plants that have the seeds are all like defense mechanisms, like some of the stuff, the leaves, all that stuff. We're eating it, and it's like not good for our body. It's not bad, for our body, but it's not the best thing
There could be better fuel.
consuming, right? And that's why like they say the raw stuff is the best, like the meats and stuff, because like that's what our ancestors were eating. You think a caveman slayed a whatever, like a bison or something, a buffalo, you think it knew to cook the meat, bro?
No.
I don't think it even thought of it, to be honest, because why would it?
Well,
Like,
the hunter-gatherers, I mean, they cooked meat, but like they also ate raw meat. I mean,
and there's the
it's
whole
a-
idea, bro. There's a whole like sacred aspect of it. Those native tribes, bro, they eat like um they save the certain things for like the highest person in the tribe. So like the leader of the tribe will get like the liver or the heart or the brain because it's like sacred and it's the best part of the body, right? Even with the wolves hunt in packs, right? Wolves will say like there's like a group of 8 wolves and they slay a fucking whatever, they kill something. They'll all eat around like the liver, the heart, the brain, and save it for the alpha wolf. And that's like crazy to think about, because like how do even these primal beings, these animals know that that is for whatever reason the best part of the animal, and they save it for their alpha. It's pretty crazy.
that is a crazy concept.
And the natives do the same thing, bro. Natives do the same thing.
Huh, I didn't even know
Or
that.
they'll save it, not necessarily the alpha, but like whoever like killed it themselves. So say me and you went on a hunt and you killed the thing, like I'm not gonna take the liver of the animal.
Mhm.
Like, you're the one that killed it, like it's all yours, bro.
No, that makes sense.
It's the
That
whole
definitely
idea
makes
of it.
sense.
But it's like why do they do this? Like it must hold some
It must hold some sort
power.
of
And
significant
it's like
power.
they say like Paul Saladino, like people look at that guy as like crazy. He's always like bug-eyed, bro. But it's like he's got so much energy, dude, because he's just eating this all natural raw stuff, and he's literally taken he drinks like the blood of cows or whatever it is, and he's like, because that's the raw, like it's fresh. And it's all things are energy, right? Like if you just kill a cow and then like immediately after eat whatever, drink the blood or eat the raw liver,
It still holds that energy.
holding all the energy, bro. And that's the whole point of the raw. When you cook it, it alleviates the energy. And then you consume. It's almost like that game Agario, right? Or like Slither EO or whatever. You're like you have the snake in the beginning, right? And then you start to consume all the little ones, and then your thing grows, right?
Mhm.
It's the same idea. Like you kill a cow and you eat the raw liver, drink its blood or whatever, you're consuming that energy and making yourself bigger and better,
Mhm.
essentially. And like it helps with brain function too. Like that guy's wired nonstop because he's always consuming like the best stuff.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan,
I need to try that out.
Joe Rogan said it too, bro. Like you eat the raw liver and then like it's like a little bit after, like you feel it, bro. I can't speak to it because I've never personally done it, but like everyone that says it, like they eat it and then it's like taking a shot of like coffee or something. Like all of a sudden you're like start speeding because there's so much holds so much energy.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's an infinite amount of energy flying
Infinite.
around our universe, right? I mean, it's a cyclical nature, and it's just we experience it, we perceive it, and you got to open that spiritual eye, third eye, pineal gland. You got to open that up to start perceiving
You gotta open this.
energy. Open up the reptilian brain.
Find it. The reptilian brain. Let me find it real quick. And then we could get off the infinite podcast.
The infinite podcast.
Here it is. Is this what I'm thinking of? No, it's not. So much knowledge.
So much knowledge at all times.
Wow, where's the reptilian brain?
It's all right.
Is it though? Now I'm halfway through the book.
Because energy just flows through the universe and we don't perceive it. And why? Why don't we perceive it? We need to. That's what we were meant to do because we are energy. Energy never dies. It's simply transformed. I'm
Yep.
energy. I'll never die. You're energy. You'll never die.
Holy hell, bro.
Can't find it. It's all right.
Stuffed.
We'll
Whatever.
start.
Look
We'll
it up
start the next
yourself.
podcast. We'll start it. We'll
Look
start the
up the reptilian brain yourself, you swine. You're all profane and vulgar.
as the elite would say. Oh, who are we calling out today?
Call out Albert Pike, Freemason of Freemasons, who said those words. You
What
are
did he-
vulgar and profane.
Oh, okay. Yes. Morals and Dogma. Is that the book he wrote?
Yeah, he probably wrote a couple others, but that's like
Yeah, but Morals and Dogma, right?
we'll call out
I don't know who we want to call out today.
my mind always jumps to Bill Gates because like fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
But like there's guys
He's kind of a scoundrel.
he's a scoundrel, bro. I'm about to rub my whole
Nah, honestly, nah. Today we're calling out the Queen. We're calling out the Queen.
Word.
Yeah,
Queen.
because we're calling out the Queen because you know what's going on.
Can I read an excerpt from my book then?
Yeah, you know what's going on with the Queen.
All right, I'll read an excerpt real quick.
Yeah, read an excerpt and then we're gonna get off the Infinite podcast.
Come on, I know it's here. It's in here somewhere.
And is this explaining why we're calling out the Queen?
Yeah. Where is it? It's coming up.
Got it, bro.
Oh,
Well, I have a copy of it, a PDF I could search.
Nah, dude, it's coming. I know it's here. I just read it yesterday.
Come on, buddy. You're getting lost in that book over there.
There's too much. Oh,
You found it?
yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
This is from Arizona Wilder, right? This is
Okay.
her direct quote.
Okay.
I'll just read it, right? Arizona talked about some of her experiences with the Queen and the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother was cold, a nasty person. None of her cohorts even trusted her. They named an altar mind control program after her. They called it the Black Queen. I have seen her sacrifice people. I remember her pushing a knife into someone's rectum the night that two boys were sacrificed. One was 13 and the other 18. You need to forget that Queen Mother appears to be a frail old woman. When she shapeshifts into a reptilian, she becomes very tall and strong. Some of them are so strong they could rip out a heart, and they all grow by several feet when they shapeshift. This is what the lady said who saw Edward Heath. Okay, that doesn't matter. Of the Queen. So that's of the Queen Mother, right? This is of the Queen. I have seen her sacrifice people and eat their flesh and drink their blood. One time she got so excited with bloodlust that she didn't cut the victim's throat from left to right in normal ritual. She just went crazy, stabbing and ripping at the flesh after she had shapeshifted into a reptilian. When she shapeshifts, she has a long reptilian face, almost like a beak, and she's an off-white color. This fits many depictions of the gods and bird gods of ancient Egypt and elsewhere. The Queen Mother basically looks the same, but there are differences. She, the Queen, also has like bumps on her head and eyes and are very frightening. She's very aggressive. I have seen Prince Charles shapeshift into a reptilian and do all the things the Queen does. I have seen him sacrifice children. There is a lot of rivalry between them for who gets to eat what part of the body and who gets to absorb the victim's last breath and steal their soul. I have also seen Andrew participate, and I've seen Prince Philip and Charles's sister Anne at the rituals, but they didn't participate when I was there. When Andrew shapeshifts, he looks more like one of the lizards. The worlds are some of the worst as far as enjoying the killing, enjoying the sacrifice, and eating the flesh. They are some of the worst of all time.
I'm gonna stop you there because
there's one sentence left.
One sentence.
They don't care if you see it. Who are you going to tell? Who is going to believe you? They feel that is their birthright and they love it. They love it. Boom. We're calling out not only the Queen and Queen Mother, but the whole British royal family. You blood-sucking English Brits, you're all scum.
Oh my God, that's fucking fun. It's not funny, but it's fucking funny.
That's not funny, bro.
Nah, I don't know how much of that I could take and just like, holy shit, like that really happened. But
Don't
like,
believe, and that's an account of Arizona Wilder. You can look her up. It's gonna say she's some like cuckoo on the Google, but like she's said to be a MK Ultra victim, and they had her under like mind control at all these events from like as she was from when she was a little kid. And like it only because like when you have trauma like that, your brain like automatically represses it. There's a name for it, I don't know, but like you literally don't remember it because it's so traumatic that your brain just like forgets it even happened essentially. But then like if you do like meditation and stuff, like it could start coming up from the subconscious and you'll start to remember it. And that's essentially what happened to her because she was under mind control for so long.
that's crazy. That's wild.
That's wild that I just read that on YouTube.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hope. Actually, we're watching your YouTube. And
Take it down, I dare you. Then I know it's true. If you take it down, I know it's true.
Yeah, we're not trying to spread misinformation. Those are the words of Arizona Wilder, not us.
Those are the words.
We're just quoting. We're just
quoted by David Icke. Those are not. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
We're just saying it's interesting. That's all we're saying.
A little
interesting. We're watching your YouTube, and
good night.
Good night.
Have a good day. Whatever.